see the smile on my face?
I know. We're back.
I miss this dude.
I miss this
guy,
dude.
man.
Welcome to Breakstuff. We've had a bit of a hiatus, but we're back, baby.
Was it 2 or 3 weeks?
It was 2 or 3 weeks, man.
So let me tell you guys, for the 7 people listening to this.
Yeah, the 7.
So Carson had, pretty much he got hammered at work.
No, that's not what happened.
No, I mean like, work was brutal.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, you know, we've had a lot of cancellations.
I was not hammered at work.
He was definitely putting tequila in his coffee, guys. Yeah, Carson's studio fired him immediately.
Yes, please.
Anyway,
please.
and so he was super busy at work.
Yeah, and then you had family here.
Like a lot of family coming over. So, you know, I had to drop stuff.
Yeah.
And then I had to drop stuff to not break stuff.
To not break stuff, right.
Which is weird.
It is weird, yeah, for sure.
Right. So, well, hey, I'm just happy we're back.
Yeah, me too.
I'm super pumped to be doing this again. What's up with you, bro?
Nothing. I just been working on music stuff. Not very heavy stuff.
That's fine.
But like music stuff for sure. Been working on some ballads, some pop ballads.
With T-Money?
With T-Money, yes.
T-Money.
Yeah, we're trying to get some songs done.
Dude, we're the same. Okay, so the grand majority of my musical projects now are pop stuff.
Yeah.
But recently I did a commercial.
You did a commercial?
I'm not allowed to say what yet.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not pop, but it's old rock.
Old rock.
Like
so
70s
like
rock.
70s rock.
I don't think I can even say which one. But hey, it was a breath of fresh air.
For sure. You're kind of time travel.
I liked it. I always put like nods to metal.
Yeah, of course.
In all my projects, whether they be subtle or in your face.
In your face.
This one was a little bit in your face.
Well, sometimes like we'll be working on stuff and it's not for like metal things, and you're like, what if I did that? And I actually have to be like, no. Like I was like, we're doing MGK type beat. You know?
Listen, I do try to find ways, like super subtle ways to like, you know, like maybe playing a diminished 7 arpeggio over a dominant 7 5 chord.
Of course.
Because we're nerds. Sorry, guys. We just lost all our 5.
No, I feel like the 5 people that watch us are the people that actually enjoy that are like, oh, the part where he talked about the diminished chord, that was my favorite.
Yeah. So like maybe like, you know how people would do like, okay, we have the dominant 5 major chord over a minor tonality, which makes it harmonic minor for a bit.
Yeah.
I would either do a harmonic minor run on that bar or like a diminished kind of arpeggios cascading. But then I do it tastefully. It's not like in your face, like, hey man, I'm metalhead. Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's like the way the Beatles did it.
The Beatles?
Bro, they have a lot of like diminished.
The Beatles doesn't go hard.
Actually, you got my gears turning. I'm like, actually, this is the next episode. Well,
no, we're talking about it now. Does it go hard? Does it go hard?
As far as progressive music goes, I think yes. I'd even say that the Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Band, club thing,
the club thing,
that might have been
Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club thing.
Yes. Yeah, that album.
Yes,
which everybody should know
for sure.
I would dare say it's one of the very first prog rock albums ever.
I think it's definitely was going into the realm of like experimental, but just because it's experimental or in kind of the realm of prog, does that mean it goes hard though?
90% of the time, nah. But it's a great album.
I think like on, what was it, their last album they did before they broke up, the song Get Back is like actually like, you know, like dude, when you talk about like attitude, like that attitude, like especially when they're performing it, like bro, they told the police to like screw off. Yeah, they
balls out, bro. Yeah. Remember that rooftop?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, they were told the police to screw off.
That was it. Yeah. And they were like, you can't do that, but yeah, fuck you.
And then Paul McCartney's just laughing. He's like, get back. And then he just keeps going. You know?
That's true.
Oh, wait, he was over here, right? He's lefty.
It's funny how you thought of that detail, bro.
Bro, I don't know. We're on Breakstuff, dude, where we're talking about nerdy boom, 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 with a little Liverpool, you know? Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
So I feel like that some of that goes hard, but like I wouldn't.
They have heavy moments.
Yeah, there's like a bit heavy moments, but even the heavier moments, it's more on like attitude and like how they did it, less so of like, oh, like this song is real heavy.
Oh, okay. Remember when we discussed Led Zeppelin like fucking X number of episodes ago?
Yes.
And I said they were heavy for their time.
Yeah.
So for the Beatles' time, I would say, yes, man, they had legit heavy moments for that time.
For that time, yeah, for sure.
For now, it's a ballad.
Yeah.
But, that time. Yeah. So
time.
I'd say, yes, heavy moments, but they're not known for that.
Yeah, no, they're not.
So let's just say it doesn't go hard. But if you if you cherry pick songs, then a case could be made.
Case could be made.
Right?
Okay. I'll agree with that statement.
Yeah. I'm just brimming with energy because I'm just so happy to be back.
I know. I'm happy you're back, man. This is great.
We're both back.
We're both back. Well,
you've never been back because you were at T Money's episodes,
yeah. Well, it's easier when I live with the person and it's just like, okay, let's just set it up really quickly.
Not gonna lie, I was jealous.
I know.
Because guys, sad. I do the editing for the short form content.
I felt bad. We kept being like, here's another episode, and I was just like sad sending it. I was
I'm like. Tiona texts me like, oh, here are the timestamps. And I'm like, oh shit, it's cars. And I'm like, I want to cry.
Well, it's tough because it's just like, I live with Tiona. She's literally a door away from me. So like, it becomes easier.
You guys are like 6 feet apart.
Exactly. So like coordinating it is a lot easier than you and I piecing together like, okay, when can you come?
Yeah.
Like when can I work it in?
This guy lives in Southern K-Town.
Yeah.
I live in Hollywood. So it's not the worst.
It's definitely not the worst, but it just takes coordinating and like...
There's logistics to it.
There's definitely logistics to it, like anything,
Yeah. So, dude, I just wanted to pivot. So for the next band on...
Does it go hard? Does it go
hard? Yeah. Anyway.
We'll edit it post.
Soen.
So
you notice, I'm wearing a Soen hoodie
right
now. So several weeks ago, I went to see him here.
You did?
I went with Nimrod to go.
Interesting. How did that go?
Okay, it was great. So a lot of people would say, okay, why is Soen on this list? Because they're definitely heavily entrenched in the metal genre.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But bro, when we watched it, I felt like most of the songs were ballads.
Yeah.
Ballads. Also, I thought the guitars were too low in the mix. So I didn't get that crushing. Well, they're not really known for crushing stuff, but they're definitely heavy.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that feeling, right?
Right.
Throughout the show. But it was a great show nonetheless. And I have a story.
Okay, tell me the story.
Okay, you know how you go to a gig, there's merch booths.
Of course.
So I got the hoodie.
Yeah.
Because I've always wanted a hoodie from Soen. So the guy says, oh, cool. What size? I'm like, large. Cool. This is a pre-worn one. And I'm like, ew. And he's like, yeah, I know what you're thinking. Ew. But let me tell you who wore it before you. Lopez did.
Oh, Lopez did.
Because he says, during the meet and greets, he gets cold sometimes in the venue. And he'd get like a hoodie from the merch stand every time. And then after the meet and greet, he just gives it back. This was this.
This is like, it's cool, but there's also a part of me that's like, that's still kind of weird.
And Roxanne was like, oh, you're probably never going to wash it. I'd probably washed it like 5 times already.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I
always forgot Martin Lopez was their drummer, because like I remember he like made that transition after leaving Opeth. Or did they kick him out?
No, he left.
He left.
Because health-wise, he wasn't doing that hot.
Oh, interesting.
He had to... This is why Gene Hoglan filled in during the Ghost of Perdition era. I'm sorry, Ghost Reveries era.
Yeah.
And I call myself a fan.
I know. That was honestly kind of embarrassing.
That's embarrassing.
Our intern like shoved his head down.
Our intern there is like, what the fuck?
He's like, bro, I thought this was like a metal podcast where you guys know what you're talking about.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm a poser.
Basically.
So Gene Hoglan. Yeah. If you check out the music video for The Grand Conjuration, it's him playing drums.
Oh, sick.
And he did some live dates as well. A lot, actually. Because
he's a freaking phenomenal
bro.
drummer.
He played for everybody.
Yeah, well, he's the entire Death Clock soundtrack. Absolutely, is Gene.
He was also in Death.
Yeah.
So among other names.
Yeah, no, he's
he
got
also
a crazy
played
track
for
record.
Devin Townsend in the Strapping Young Lad days.
Yeah.
Anyway, this man's resume, damn. So he left because he was having anxiety attacks, panic attacks, stuff. He wasn't doing well.
Yeah.
He was super thin. So I think he kind of laid low for a number of years after that. And then, was it 2011 or 2012? They came out with their first album. And he came to, I have this new band, so on. This is the first album, Cognitive.
Yeah.
I love that album, bro. Freaking love that album. I kind of like it more than Tool.
Interesting.
Sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize. It is fascinating because I remember when I was going down the Tool rabbit hole, when I was like very, very, very obsessed. And that was at the time because like they didn't put their catalog on streaming until 2019.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty late.
So I remember being like frustrated because like I couldn't get anything on iTunes for a minute. Like it took me a minute to finally get the CDs and just download them and put them important to my iPod, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was like desperately trying to find bands that sound similar to Tool. And so they were one of them. And I don't know, there is something about it where like the tonality, the intention, kind of the sonic atmosphere is all pretty similar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I even as I revisited them this morning, and prepping for this, I was kind of like, I don't even know, like it was a lot of just like ballads. Like I forgot how like not really like pedal to the metal they are, like lack of a better term, you know,
Tool?
like. No, so
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I lost track there.
no, it's all good. It's all good. So like that was one thing that like I was like, oh, this is.
That's
like,
a lot of ballads for sure.
It's a lot of ballads. So it's like for me, I'm like objectively it goes hard, but like the other part of me is like,
they like ballads a lot.
I mean, I like ballads, but that doesn't mean it's like it
Same,
goes hard, you know.
But you know, especially the later albums, it sounds heavy.
Yeah.
The later albums, I think, have more grit to it.
Yeah.
But the live show, I don't know. Maybe it was just the level of the guitarist, man. It might just be me. It might just be me.
Well, you got to think like Sonics. Like where did you see them?
The El Rey Theater.
El Rey Theater.
It was just a cool venue, by the way.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I haven't been there, but I think like the biggest thing, like, and I was talking with a band that I'm working with right now about it, and like he was like trying to experiment with like limiters and like trying to make like the guitar, bass, and vocal balance because like he runs it all through Pro Tools, and the Pro Tools out is what you hear in the thing. So
yeah, I mean like most bands.
Well, no,
most young bands.
No, like I think there's some bands that'll do it out of like Ableton or something like that, or they'll just do whatever the house sound is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this was a bit more specific. So, like, we're going with tracks, but, like, all the levels are, like, matched because he was, like, what I've found going to most clubs and most venues is, like, the drums overpower everything. So you might hear the vocals because the vocals is what people want to hear, and then you'll just hear the blasting drums and then nothing else.
Yeah.
So he was talking about, like, experimenting with different, like, you know, audio tools to kind of enhance that experience. And so, like, that's why he has, like, oh, like, let's use this, like, outboard limiter on the end so then we can really crank it. And then also make sure the drums aren't overbearing everything. So I think that's, like, the easiest thing to get wrong when you're doing live sound is, like, and again, I'm not a live sound engineer, so take my words with a grain of salt. But, like, you know, it's definitely, like, the hardest thing because, like, it's so easy to get drowned out, like, guitar-wise.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, if your guitars are just like blaring, then you start to not hear your vocalist and then like your bassist.
Yeah, because frequencies overlap, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's tough because like I think like unless you have like a really nice board where you can really control EQ and stuff, it becomes really easy to just start drowning each other out, you know? So like I totally get it with the Stone thing because that's very frustrating for sure. But, you know, I think like, yeah, I think it's just kind of like a normal thing and it's easy to kind of get to that state, you know?
Would you say this is becoming a trend?
No, I think it's always kind of been there. I think that's been the number one thing that's like always been kind of occurring is like that's like the big problem with like a mix. Like I remember like when we saw Mastodon in Boston, you know,
with
like,
Opeth.
with Opeth, which was a great show, but like yeah, the mix really took me out of it because like I remember the Mastodon show, like the guitars just washed out the vocals. So then I was just like, okay, well, this kind of sucks. Like, and then Opeth was a good, like, if I remember correctly, it was a good live mix. Isn't it fascinating the amount of like, even in the same venue, the same night, each band has a different mix and like,
yeah, because they have their own sound. You know,
yeah, they have their own sound guy, or they just like are at the whims of whoever's running that thing, that place. You know,
but I think the sound guys they switch.
Yeah, they switch out.
Right, so Mastodon's a different one because they have a different sound as a band.
Right.
Which, okay, maybe I'm the sound tech for Opeth, and then Mastodon comes in, and I'm like, oh, the sound guy for Mastodon is sick. You got to fill in. I'm gonna fuck it up.
Yeah,
because they have a different sound than Opeth.
I mean, but like you can live mix rather quickly compared to, because like if you're a skilled engineer, like you would be able to adapt to that. Like yeah, you might roll around to be Dream Theater's main engineer, but like that doesn't mean you can't like be like, oh, let me adapt to, because it's the same kind of setup. It's just like adjusting kind of some EQ and frequency stuff. I think it's interesting though.
But there's fine tuning involved if you're like the main sound guy for this one band. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
And they say the devil is in the details, but yeah, that's probably another talk for another episode.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, last one for does it go hard?
Does it go hard?
Rush.
I felt like I was delving into heresy when I was forming my answer, because like,
I mean, you can have your opinion, man.
Like, because it's really good. Like, I love Rush, but I would not say they're heavy.
Okay, are you looking at it from today's point of view?
I get like, yeah, it's kind of the same answer as before though. It's like, oh, would you mind, like the tape just came off that light? Can you just like push the shirt back to the basically where the light is?
So today we have Eric.
Eric is
our intern all the way from you know, wherever the fuck he's from. He's here for a vacation and we put him to work.
That's perfect. That's also fine. That's fine if that dangles. Thank you.
U.S. Immigration, we are not paying him.
We're not paying him? No, we definitely are not.
Also, he this is not work. He just put tape on.
He just put tape on. It's
Everybody
okay.
say hi to Eric. Hi,
Eric. Okay, yeah, so for that time, yeah, Rush was like super heavy. But like, I think if you looked at it by today's standards of what you consider heavy and heavy metal, it's like, it's not.
It falls short, right? But yeah, for today's standard, it's kind of like, oh, it's regular dad rock.
It's like smart dad rock.
Well, yeah. I'd say they definitely go hard. Then when they came out, versus now, I mean, yeah, there's some, they go hard, sure, but like compared to like any newer bands in that same vein.
Yeah.
Haken. Bro, 8 strings. 2 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of the standard now, isn't it? Extended range. Even on the bass.
Yeah.
Double kicks. But at least they're still heavier than Pop.
They are heavier than Pop, that's for certain.
So I'd say yes, they definitely do go hard during their prime.
Yeah, for sure.
They go kind of hard today. Kind of hard. Kind of
hard.
Hard.
Yeah, okay, I think that's a fair assessment.
So we're in agreement.
Yeah. I think I would say they're less hard than I think you're saying, but like we're kind of in agreement.
Hard-ish.
Hardish,
today.
Yes.
Hardish. Because that's you'd hear it in a bar with a lot of dads.
Yeah.
And it's like, these sounds are mean. Yeah. And all the dads were like, give me this fucking beer. Cool. Yeah, whatever. Are you ready for the gross corner, bro?
Yes, it's time for Andy's gross corner.
Andy's gross corner. Cue music.
I'm gonna fix the light. Start the first one.
Okay, Eric, can you click on Carson's? Right now? Let's wait for him to come back so we can watch it. We're literally using a shirt to attenuate our main light, and the bottom portion of it is taped to the light, and it just keeps on unsticking.
Listen, our budget is pretty tight here at Breakstuff, so like,
you know, we not only break stuff, we also break bank accounts.
We've broken so many bank accounts.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, hit
Gross
it,
corner. Let's figure it out. Let's see it.
Bro.
I don't know when the video ends.
No, let it roll. Let it roll.
When does it end? I feel like it's just one of those perfect loops.
Let me tell you what, I've seen this before. I think you'll be proud at the end.
All right, perfect. Stop it.
Hey, that's talent if I've ever seen it.
I mean, I'm just thinking about the amount of hours that went into that. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, Steve, what are you doing when you get off work today? He's like, listen, I've been working on something. You just, like, listen, you got to trust me on this one. Like, you got to trust me.
There's a whole sporting event on it on ESPN 5.
ESPN Live. You know?
The Ocho. ESPN 8, where all the obscure sports are. Like this one.
Yeah, that's crazy. No, that's. I mean, like, it's impressive, and I think that's why I laugh so hard at it.
This guy's Major League.
He's Major League for sure. Like, forget that Dodger player that's being paid $700 million to pitch for the Dodgers. Put this guy in.
Shohei Ohtani.
Yes,
that guy's rich.
It's wild. I went to a Dodger game with my family a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you didn't invite me.
I was invited. An invite doesn't invite other guests.
I was invited last time.
You were, because my mom was like, bring a friend. And then this was for one of my cousin's birthdays.
It was last year.
It was last year.
It was last year. You were still in Silver Lake.
I was still in Silver Lake.
Yeah.
It's wild. But there was, like, it's crazy what the attention that guy's brought, because there's literally, like, maybe like, welcome to Dodger Stadium, and then I would say it in Japanese.
Oh, because baseball is freaking huge in Japan, bro.
Well, now it's become like even more prevalent. Like, I saw like way more Japanese like attendees because of that.
Mr. Ohtani.
Mr. Ohtani, yeah.
He also got a $700 million contract.
Yeah.
Can I just get one?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Just want one.
Just one.
We'll buy a proper light.
Yeah, buy a proper light.
Or like 10,000 of them.
Yeah, 10,000. That would be good.
Yeah.
All right, what's our next one?
All right, hit my next one.
This is the heaviest song you will ever fucking hear.
Yes.
The heaviest song we have ever written. Met a girl and I really thought she likes me.
Bro,
that was awesome.
I feel like when metalheads say some shit like something to that effect, right?
Yeah.
This is the heaviest song this is the heaviest song we've ever written, or anybody should, period. It's gonna be a meme.
It's gotta be a meme, dude.
Even live, it's gonna be a meme. Bodum did that. Bodum with they did Oops, I Did It Again.
Oh yeah.
It was heavy.
I mean, it's probably still heavy. That was just full on like silly pop punk girly song, you know.
They didn't even make an effort.
No.
And he was like,
yeah, no, he was fully into the bit.
Bro, he's Knuff.
Knuff, yeah, he's Knuff, dude. That movie was a lot, man.
I liked it better than the nuclear one.
Yeah,
Oppenheimer.
No, I liked it more than Oppenheimer. That's for sure.
I think I'm just too stupid.
No, literally, when I left Oppenheimer, I went with my buddy from home, and like I left the theater, and I was just like,
you know what I felt about that movie?
What?
After the nuclear testing, I felt like it should have ended there.
Yeah, like honestly, like when they were celebrating, they're like, "Hooray!" And then like maybe you could have a scene where like Cillian Murphy's like, "Oh my gosh, what have I done?" You know, at the end. It kind of,
but it's not explicit, right? It's implied. Yeah.
But then, you know, like they go through this whole court thing that's super drawn out.
And then they name like 10,000 fucking characters that you should be keeping track of.
Yeah, no.
And I'm like, who's this? Who's this?
And then like once they like had the verdict, I was kind of like, I don't even know the significance of this anymore because I don't even know who these characters are. I lost track of the
story.
Yeah, no, I was like, I don't know what's happening anymore.
And you know, like Iron Man comes out, I'm like, who's this again?
Yeah, like you're just they're like, oh, you should have been following along the whole time.
Like, he
and I was like, I went to music school. I don't know. Like, you think I could follow along?
Show me the fucking half-whole diminished scale.
Yeah, where's the half-whole diminished scale?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, that definitely enjoyed that way more than the Oppie movie.
Well, yeah, 'cause Barbie was fun too.
Yeah, it was a fun movie for sure.
I watched it at home.
Yeah, me too.
I wasn't able to get it in the theater. I watched Oppenheimer in the theater. I should have reversed it.
I should have reversed it as well.
I would have turned off the TV after the test.
Yeah, you would have been like,
I'm like, yeah, cool. I don't care about this politics shit.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
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 We are retards.
Well, we are for sure not getting any ad reads on this episode.
Hell no.
Did you have anything else?
I think I'm good, bro.
You think you're good?
I will see you in the next one.
Yeah, see you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
For the revival.
We love you.